AT&T rumored to have interest in Ben Affleck returning as Batman. Yeah, I know. You've heard this before, but bear with me here. So here we are, bounding into comics. That's yet another bent on this rumor, and that they now want it to be an Arkham Knight-influenced series, which, of course, you see the image here from the video game. So, see, there's AT&T, you will work for us again. So it's a no-brainer. If you could get Ben Affleck back and to do a series, so they're talking about they want a limited series, not just a film, movie-level budget and all that stuff, man, you're talking probably bigger than Mandalorian stuff for HBO Max, which apparently isn't doing well, because if you haven't heard the breaking news, I've been hearing the rumors over the weekend that yes, AT&T will now merge with Discovery. So here's the little, oh no, that's not it. Here we go. Over at Variety, they've got several articles on it now. So it's all confirmed and whatnot. So the deal is AT&T would control 71% of the new company they're going to form with Discovery, while Discovery will own 29%. But Discovery CEO Davis Zaslav, or Love, however you want to put it, has been tapped to lead the new company. So this guy they're looking to manage all of this. And it's kind of reflects for his experience with cable channels. Now, Discovery's had its streaming as well, but still, how to manage all of that into itself. So they're probably looking to him to fix that up. I was watching a Midnight's Edge in the morning show, and lo and behold, Mikey Sutton shows up, and right when he's in the middle of that, he said he got some scoops or some information from some people, some of his sources on his phone while he was talking to them, that apparently Sarnoff and Hamada are putting the feelers out that they're ready to jump ship. So, if this is true, then could this lead to restore the Snyderverse? Possibly, especially since it seems like a no-brainer. Now, again, these things are expensive. They're still tied up with deals with Bad Robot, but maybe something be worked out. Look, work on your own stuff with DC, except for Justice League Dark, which the more I hear about it, it sounds like yet another failure on arrival. But the Black Superman with Ta-Nehisi Coates, ugh, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and to waste the resources on that, which I don't think is going to go well, when the overwhelming obvious desire is for another Henry Cavill Superman film. So I think sooner or later somebody was going to be left holding the woke bag, and that just might be J.J. Abrams, which would be kind of sweet. But nevertheless, I wouldn't underestimate him on these behind-the-scenes maneuvers. But that's a deal that could be in place that takes care of this. Plus, there's also to consider CW. Now, there's an interesting thing, because, it's a cable channel. And this guy coming out of Discovery would have experience in that, and might want to see. You look at that and say, okay, the shows have got to be like Stargirl and Superman and Lois, especially Superman and Lois. If you do more shows like that, well, then you really got something. So maybe a lot of cleaning house happens, and especially with mergers. Yeah, a lot of people are moving on, looking for other jobs after something like that happens. So anyway, yes, Ben Affleck's Batman, there's more desire for that than anything else, and that includes the Batman with Robert Pattinson and stuff, which might be good. I don't care for that Catwoman outfit. But and I don't really care for his Batman outfit either. Like the Batmobile, though. That looks cool. And the best thing going for it is that it's a detective story plot, murder mystery and all that. So, yeah, they do that well. Well, all right. And this has been the same thing with DC and DCEU and all that, is that some movies they didn't care for and they thought they weren't that successful, but then others were. So, they had Wonder Woman and Aquaman, but that's Snyderverse castings. And Henry Cavill is still very popular in the role, and Ben Affleck is popular as Batman. So you're kind of stuck with it. The problem with Warner Brothers is that they panicked. They panicked all the way back in Man of Steel. Man of Steel did not lose money. It made money, but it didn't make the money of their projections. So they said, all right, get Batman in there. So Man of Steel 2 just didn't happen when it should have. And you forced together this team-up movie that is something that it's not a bad idea initially, but it's something that should have come a little later after you established the two. Because like Cosmic Week News has been talking about this story that apparently Tyler Hoechlin was in the running to be Batman back in those early days, and eventually he ends up being Superman on the TV show. But so there would have been this younger Batman. It would have been the beginning of them, and he would have been introduced in this new shared universe and all that sort of stuff. But in his own movie at first, they should have stuck with that plan to somewhat. Although probably never would have gotten Ben Affleck's Batman, which is unfortunate. Because nothing against Tyler Hoechlin. I don't know. Maybe he would have made a better Batman than he does Superman. Who knows? But boy, I tell you, Ben Affleck, as far as I can tell from all the different cinematic versions of Batman, I gotta say he's been the best. He just hasn't had the greatest movie treatment. He has some great scenes in Batman vs. Superman, and of course Snyder Cut is really good. And so it just like, God, gotta see more of this. So the idea here is they want to work in the Arkham Knight storyline, and with his story about Deathstroke, and if that's meddling too much with the story that he wanted to do, that might put him off, with Batfleck. But apparently they want to do this, and I never played the game or anything, so I didn't know the whole story. That they introduced the Arkham Knight, and spoilers, the Arkham Knight turns out to be Jason Todd. So they would work it in that Jason Todd was the Robin who died, but then, surprise, he really isn't dead, and Deathstroke uses this to mess with Batman's head and all this type of stuff. And then he takes off the Arkham Knight mask and, Jason! Instead of becoming Red Hood, I guess. But, and people can point out immediately, says, well, wait a minute, Zack Snyder said that it was Dick Grayson who had been killed. Well, he may have said that, but if the boss wants it to be Jason Todd, then it is. You still have the same problem. You still have a broken Batman as a result of that, and that sort of thing, which puts him at the state that he was in, that set him up against Superman. He wasn't thinking clearly because of how he was. He was a damaged and broken Batman. So this would be a follow-up on that, where he deals with this, and then if the plot was a surprise, he's not really dead, okay. But if he's not really dead, then the ending of Snyder Cut doesn't quite make sense too either, does it? I mean, I guess technically it does. Oh man, the Joker. If it still results in Jason Todd going insane and becoming a villain, then it's the same problem. He's just not dead. But I don't know. I'd rather just leave whatever script Affleck had with him versus Deathstroke and leave it at that. And that could be restructured into a limited series, which is what I think they probably should have done with Snyder Cut. And we're going to, and then something happened. Obviously, the spiteful nature that was going on behind the scenes at Warner Brothers with Snyder resulted in that. Something happened, and they said, all right, just put the whole goddamn thing on there and let's get this over with. They got mad, and especially over the Green Lantern stuff and all of which it just doesn't make any sense, really. But anyway, get on this. Whatever you got to do, you will make Batman. And so things are afoot. Things are different. So whatever else, as of now, whatever else he thought was done and over with may not be so. But this also comes into the problem that AT&T has, where they had to do this merger, because obviously if they had to, then HBO Max is not doing what they needed it to do. And the thing about Snyder Cut is that there's no doubt it did well, But there's the problem. It's kind of the same story with DCEU. You can have movies that do well, but it's not meeting the burden that was placed upon it. So as I always said, it had to leap Mount Everest in a single bound and had to overwhelm everything. And I don't know any movie that could meet that. So it's unfair, but that's the situation they were in, and it didn't do that. However, another thing that was interesting from Midnight's Edge, and you should check them out and subscribe, I'm sure you are, was in that same discussion. I think Tom Connors had mentioned about there's this delay on releasing the Blu-ray of Snyder's Justice League. And the problem is that the demand is so high they can't meet it, so it's going to take a while. And because of yet another dealings that Warner's did with Universal or something like that, hopefully they'll put it in a clip or something so it'll be easy to find. He gets all the details out. But they don't really have the facilities anymore to produce. So they gotta wait. I mean, oh, good Lord. But it wouldn't be a problem if the numbers were pretty much the typical ones. But apparently, the demand is so high for it, they can't meet it on time. So, yeah. And of course, with all the troubles Marvel is recently having with being threatened with bans and whatnot over their upcoming Marvel films in China, Snyder Cut did very well in China. Apparently, it beat Endgame's number. So, what do you do, you know? So, did it fail? Well, it didn't produce a miraculous turnabout that needed to overwhelm everything, which I don't think any film could do. So yeah, it didn't do that, but was it a flop and a disaster? Oh no, it wasn't. So look, Snyderverse is flawed. I've always readily admitted that. I'm not one of these people who worship at the feet of Snyder and all that sort of stuff. Some people do, and that's their business. But I see a lot of big problems in some of his ideas, especially going forward, with Lois and Bruce having a child and all that. But the other options that are on the table, keep them. It's not your better bet is Snyderverse. So yeah. Meanwhile, get on that haircut. That would be a nice little boost. Yeah, probably can have that out by Christmas. Maybe that's a little optimistic. Anyway, there we go. Once again, things are obviously afoot, and so I guess doors are open again, and we will see. So, of course, keep your hashtags going. That it can help, and we'll see what comes down the road. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.